guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back for another car news video here on the channel, and today we're going to be discussing yet another return of an American icon, the Jeep Grand Wagoneer concept. Yes, I know this isn't even the full production version, but it should look very similar to this whenever it does release next year. There are still some notable things I will want to discuss with this SUV. Before we get into all of that, make sure you drop a like on this video as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Hopefully you guys do enjoy, and let's get started. Well, it turns out the Ford Bronco wasn't the only SUV built in the 60s. The Jeep Grand Wagoneer was introduced in 1963 as well. It was made as a luxury SUV with nice leather materials on the inside, and yes, of course, we can't forget the wood paneling on the side of the vehicle. Production of this vehicle lasted almost 30 years, ending in 1991. In 1993, the Jeep Grand Cherokee was born, being the smaller version of the Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Then later on, Jeep decided to bring the Jeep Commander, which was slightly bigger than the Grand Cherokee. Didn't last for very long. And now, we have a true competitor to stuff like the Tahoes, Yukons, and even Range Rovers. As far as design goes, I really like it. With all of the rounder crossovers these days, it is still cool to see a boxy SUV. The exterior also features some really nice looking wheels, a light bar just above the grille, and above that, no Jeep badge. Actually, there are really no Jeep badges to be found. It just says Grand Wagoneer on the sides, the back, and the front. Overall, it may not have the retro styling of what made the old Grand Wagoneer what it is today, but it still looks really good. When you hop inside your Grand Wagoneer, expect a luxurious experience for all passengers every time. With all of the nice high quality materials here, you definitely get that high-end feel. Here in the concept, we have about 7 screens that are shown off, which include 4 in the front row and 3 screens in the second row. Jeep says this will total up to 45 total inches of display in this vehicle, which is pretty insane. To provide the best sound experience for your ears, Jeep will be partnering up with Macintosh. This would be the part where I talk about the different trim levels and engine options, but there are none as of right now since this is a concept vehicle. So with that, I thought it would be interesting if I made some guesses as to what engines I think will be offered for this vehicle. Now, I could actually see Jeep putting in the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 and making that as a base engine. I could also definitely see a hybrid version of this thing in the near future as we are pushing more towards hybrid technology. In my opinion, I do think it would be cool to have a V8 of some sort, whether it be the 5.7 liter V8, 6.4 liter V8, or even 6.2 liter supercharged V8, making it into a Trackhawk. In terms of pricing, the Grand Wagoneer should start around $100,000, which is going to be the most expensive Jeep to date, even more expensive than the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Now, I do want to talk about my thoughts on this SUV overall. I do think it's going to be a really good and really successful SUV, in my opinion. It's going to be really interesting to see how Jeep kind of competes with brands like Range Rover. Now, I also have some questions too. Is this going to be something that we're going to want over something like the Cadillac Escalade, the Chevy Tahoe, GMC Yukon, stuff like that? Is it going to be that gold standard as kind of like the Cadillac has always been, like, oh, you're luxurious if you have an Escalade? Is this going to be like that? Are we going to have some really nice materials to look forward to? I mean, it's going to be $100,000 we're talking here. Now, if you want to look at stuff like the BMW X7, that costs right around the $70,000 mark. That is BMW's 3-row seater, most luxurious, biggest SUV that you can buy from BMW right there, the BMW X7. And you can get the X7M version of that, and that costs right around $100,000, like I think $99,000. And then you can get the Alpina version, which costs right around $141,000, which is actually pretty steep. But then again, it is like the most luxurious Alpina. You are buying the Alpina version. That's kind of on a level of its own, while the M version is just kind of like the BMW Sport one. But I'm kind of interested to see how the Grand Wagoneer is going to compete with that, and also with Range Rover. It seems like Range Rover is the main target that Jeep is heading after here in terms of luxurious SUVs, being the premium luxury SUV brand. And I mean, if you look at something like the Range Rover, that costs around $92,000 for pretty much the base model. Um, Base model Range Rover, I'm talking about the big Range Rover, $92,000 for that thing. And obviously, options can go from there. You can pretty much spec one out to like $150,000, and that's really insane for an SUV. But then again, it's a Range Rover. You're paying for all that. You're paying for the double screens. You're paying for all of the leather, all of the nice little things that you don't get on your Cadillac Escalade, for example. So it's really interesting to see how that is going to stack up against uh, the Grand Wagoneer. And also, I do have another question here as well. Will this be something that's going to be off-road capable? Jeep has made it to where any vehicle you purchase from them can be off-road capable in some sort of way. The Compass, the Renegade, the Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee, obviously the Wrangler and the Gladiator, both off-road capable no matter which trim level you get. So is this going to be a vehicle that can be off-road capable of some sort? I'm very interested and curious to find out on how Jeep does handle that for sure. So um, overall, I think that SUV should be pretty interesting. In terms of pricing, do I think it's a bit much? Do I think it's a bit expensive for a Jeep? I don't know. If they're targeting a Range Rover, I think it can make sense. I think maybe they can make it a little cheaper, right around maybe like $80,000. But and again, Jeep also does offer another SUV that's close to that $100,000 price range, the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, and that's kind of a performance SUV. While this is a luxurious SUV, something that people are gonna drive to the lake house, gonna be driving to the country club, stuff like that. So it's gonna be very very interesting to see how Jeep does this. And also, I think I pointed this out in my exterior features section here. There's no Jeep badges on the vehicle. This isn't going to be a normal Jeep. So how are they going to do this? I mean, are they going to market it as a Jeep? Are they going to put Jeep badges on there later? Are they going to put small Jeep badges here and there? Is this going to be a Grand Wagoneer? Is it going to be a separate brand? I mean, I have so many questions, but I'm sure we'll get answers. It says next year is going to be the release date for this thing, so it's going to be a 2022 model, I'm assuming, and be released as a 2021 model. But yeah, I'm very very curious to see what Jeep is doing here, and what Jeep is all about for this SUV. Will it be fast? Will it be the Pentastar? Will it have the Pentastar V6? Will it have a diesel? I'm sure it'll have a hybrid motor of some sort later in the future. I mean, I can just see that. We're kind of getting to the point where hybrid motors are getting very popular. So I could definitely see a Jeep doing that for sure with this thing right here. But yeah, that is my thoughts on the Grand Wagoneer. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you all did find this informative and helpful. Make sure you drop a like on this video if you guys did enjoy as well. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I know videos have been scarce lately, but I do have some more videos on the way. Some more car news videos as well as some more gaming videos. So stay tuned to the channel, and yeah, you don't want to miss this content coming up. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.